Hello everyone. This is our second session on Unit 1 of Income Tax. First session was about 2 marks question and this session will be about 6 marks questions. So as we know from the chapter 1 there has always been a repetition of one question, practical question, that is computation or determination of residential status. So every year this question has been asked through different adjustments. Okay, so we will solve one such problem on determination of residential status. Before moving on to problem, I would just recall the conditions for determining residential status. So according to section 6 subsection 1, basic condition says that first basic condition, an SSC or an individual has to stay in India for 182 days or more in the previous year. And second basic condition says an individual has to stay in India for 60 days in the previous year and 365 days in the 4 preceding previous year. However, there is exception to first basic condition. Instead of 182 days, an individual can stay for 60 days in the previous year if he is a person who is leaving India for employment purpose or is a person being a part of shipping crew or is a person of Indian origin but residing in foreign and comes to visit India in the previous year. In such cases, previous year of 182 days can be reduced to 60 days. So if a person satisfies one of this basic condition, he is a resident. Okay, then we'll be moving on to the additional conditions determined under section 6, subsection 6. The first condition under that is a person has to stay for 2 years out of 10 years in the previous preceding years. And the second additional condition is a person has to stay for 730 days out of 7 preceding previous year. Okay, so if an individual satisfies one of the basic condition and both the additional condition, he becomes an resident and ordinary resident. If a person satisfies one of the basic condition and doesn't satisfy any of the additional condition or just one of the additional condition, he will be not ordinary resident. Okay, resident and not ordinary resident. For a person to become a non-resident, he would not satisfy any of the basic condition. So these are the conditions which we have learned in section 6 subsection 1 and section 6 subsection 6. Okay, recalling this, we'll move on to this problem where when it comes to solving a problem on residential status, first thing is we are supposed to jot down all the 10 preceding previous year. With the previous year, we have to jot down all the preceding previous year. For that, we should also know what is the assessment year for that individual. After that, we are going to determine his stay in India in the particular financial years or previous years, on what months he has stayed, for what months he has stayed in India. And then we are going to determine the total number of days to check whether he satisfies the conditions as specified. So here, Mr. Frank, a citizen of West Indies, was appointed as sales manager in India on 1st April 2013, Mumbai. So he came to India for the first time on 1st April 2013. And on 25th January 2016, he went to Uganda on deputation for a period of 3 years. So from 1st April 2013 to 25th January 2016, he stayed in India and then left to Uganda on the same day. Okay. On and then, but left his wife and children in India. On 1st May 2017, he came to India and took with him his family to Uganda on 30th June. So once he returned to India on 1st May 2017. Okay, and then he stayed in India till 30th June 2017. Okay, after that he left to Uganda on 30th June 2017. Then he returned to India and joined his original job on 25th January 2019. So once he left on 30th June 2017, he came back to India on 25th Jan 2019, and then assuming he continued his stay. So this problem by default says that the assessment year will be 2019-20. Okay. So we'll begin with determination of residential status. So assessment year would be 2019-20, and the previous year for 1920 will be 2018-19. And next comes jotting down the preceding previous years. So it is 2017-18, 16-17, 15-16, 14-15, 13-14, 12-13, 11-12, 10-11, and 2009 and 10. So going back to the question to check what has been his stay, okay, through the question will go by. So here Mr. Frank came to India on 1st April 2013. So we know a year begins on 1st April 2013 and ends on 31st March of the coming year, right? 1st April to 31st March. So for the year 2013, he had come to India on the beginning of the year. So it comes in the year 2013-14. So he came to India on 1st April 2013, and he left on 25th Jan 2016. That means from April 2014, 13 to 31st March 2014, he has stayed in India, right? So from 1st April 2013 to 31st March 2014, he was in India. And same goes for the next year, right? Because he stayed for continuous 3 years until 25th January 2016. So 1st April 2014 to 31st March 2015, also he had stayed in India. When it comes to 2015-16, he stayed from 1st April 2015 only till 25th January 2016. So you can see that 1st April 2015 to 25th January 2016. Right? Then he left India on deputation to Uganda. Okay. But then he came back to India in the year 2017 on 1st May, right? So here 1st May will not be coming in the year 2016-17 since the end of the year is 31st March, right? So then we'll go to the year 2017-18. So he came on 1st May 2017 and was there in India till 30th June 2017, right? So that we see. So he has been non-resident in the year 16-17, and for the year 17-18, he stayed from 1st May 2017 to 30th June 2017. Okay. Then he left India on 30th June, but returned India again on 25th January 2019. So that will go for previous year. He came to India only on 25th Jan 2019. That means he has continued to stay after that. So the year ends on 31st March 2019. So 25th Jan 2019 to 31st March 2019. So this is his track record of stay in India. So that means in all the year he has been a non-resident. Okay. So for the year 12-13, he is a non-resident. And for 11-12 also he is non-resident, and 10-11 also he is a non-resident, and He has no history of staying in India for the year 2009-10 also. Okay. So now we'll go for calculation of number of days. So while talking about his stay in the month of January, you will be taking in 25th also. So 25th to 31st, it will be 7 days for the month of Jan, right? And in the month of February, he has stayed for 28 days, and in the month of March, it will be 35 days, right? So his stay in India for the previous year, 7 plus 28 plus 31, it will be 66 days. Okay. Then in a month year 17-18, he has stayed from May to June. That is entire month of May and June. So in the month of May, we have got 31 days. In the month of June, we have got 30 days. So 31 plus 30 will be 61 days. So in 16-17, he has not stayed in India at all, right? So then moving on to 15-16, he has stayed from 1st April 2015 to 21st Jan 2016. So what will be his stay in India for such year? So if we go to calculation, so May 30 days, June 31, July, sorry, April 30 days, May 31, June 30, July 31, August 31, September 30, October 31, November 30 days, December 31 days, and January 25 days. So from 1st April 2015 to 25th January 2016, he would be staying in India for 300 days. Okay. Then the next year, that is 2014-15, he has stayed for entire year. So that makes his stay for 365 days. And same goes for 2013-14. He has stayed in India for the entire year. So it will be 365 days. So now we are supposed to verify the basic and additional condition. So he doesn't satisfy first basic condition, that is staying in India for 182 days in the previous year. So we'll move to second basic condition. It says he has to stay for 60 days in previous year, that is satisfied, and he has to stay for 365 days in for preceding previous year. So as you can see, first, second, third, and fourth, that is until 2014-15. He has to stay for 365 days. So you can see he has stayed. So he satisfies the second basic condition. He becomes a resident. Now moving on to additional condition where he has to stay for 2 years out of 10 preceding previous year. So as you all can see, he's definitely staying for 2 years out of 10 preceding previous year. And he has to stay, the second condition, he has to stay for 730 days out of 7 preceding previous year. So here if you add all these number of days, it will approximately amount to 1091 days. So it is more than 730 days, right? So he satisfies both the additional conditions. This means he satisfies one of the basic condition and both the additional condition, which makes him resident and ordinarily resident. So your computation or determination should end up with an explanation. Only then you will be awarded marks. So explanation becomes very important for this problem. So as Mr. Frank satisfies first basic condition under section 6 subsection 1 and both the additional conditions under section 6 subsection 6, his residential status during the previous year shall be resident and ordinarily resident. So such kinds of problems will occur in your examination, or residential status has always occurred in your examination. So go through these kind of problem. Sometimes they may directly give you the number of days he has stayed in India. Only thing is you have to check whether it satisfies the residential status conditions. So one problem would be there, but the way of asking it might differ. So with this, I will conclude 6 marks session for chapter 1. In my next session, I will be moving on to 14 marks question. Thank you.